What a huge way out here, and today was an amazing day in the market. I don't know. I just number one, I want to say thanks to God because I can't imagine. Sometimes I think about where I came from, as far as the market goes, and just starting this, having absolutely no idea where it's going, having no clue about liquidity, having no clue about the orb, having no clue about just how the market moves. I hope that I can help some of you guys learn. How it moves, even though, again, I fail, I lose, losing is a part of the process, as God has taught me for a long time here. Losing is a part of the process. You're going to lose, but at the end of the day, man, if you just take what I'm teaching you, again, I'm not an advisor, so don't listen to me in the first place, but, if you want to play with fake money, that is, or whatever, and you want to go on demo and, use what I'm showing you, that's great, you can do that as well. But basically, I'm going to show you guys what happened today, why I made the choices I made, just like I do every single day, not selling you a course. Just showing you basically what I've learned from God, man. This past year or so, a little bit more than a year. It's been a crazy journey. It's been amazing. Just a way different understanding that I had. I can't even imagine what next year will be like. As far as just the understanding of where the market's going and stuff. But basically, if you guys are new here, I trade the 15-minute orb strategy, okay, and I try to make this as simple as I possibly can for you to understand. Because I wish I had that when I was learning. I feel like I listened to 100 different people, and that's the worst idea you can, that you could do. You really want to make sure that, the main components of trading. Number one, obviously liquidity. Number two, the 15-minute orb. That's obviously Confluence helps as well. I'll teach you guys pretty much what I went through, why I made the choice I make today. So we're on NinjaTrader right here. I use NinjaTrader for my funded futures, and I use TopStep X for obviously TopStep. I have an account in each. So and then I just want to add in there, I've been dabbling a little bit in options trading as well. Just because the way I'm looking at it is that SPY, the SPY 500, or I think that's what it is, SPY, it moves the same way as NASDAQ. It's literally identical pretty much. So I've been making the same trades I make on, NinjaTrader and TopStep on options. I made like 200 something bucks on there today. So again, cannot thank God enough. So today was a great day on on both of my TopStep X's. I know I made, what did I make, 900? Yeah, it was like $898 today, something. So today was a great day. I cannot complain. But yeah, so we have the 15-minute orb strategy right here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. Obviously, this is again NinjaTrader. 15-minute candlestick is right here. Okay, so we trade at 9:30 in the morning. Again, try to make this as simple as I possibly can. So this is your 15-minute candle. Okay, what we do is we wait around at 9:30 a.m. for the market to open. It's gonna have a lot of volatility in that moment, so we're gonna figure out what's happening, and patience is 100% key. That's something God's taught me these past year, literally been like a year and a couple months now, something like that. But He's been teaching me that having patience and really just seeing where the trades are playing out, where it wants to move, just being ready when that move comes. So as you guys can see, we have a higher high right here, which a higher high is just basically saying that it's as high as it possibly can go in that 15-minute candles, high as it went. And we have a low low right here. And what you do is you put a horizontal line right here on the high and the low low of that 15-minute candlestick, okay? And candlestick, again, is just showing you where the market's moving, where these numbers right here are moving in that 15-minute span. So obviously the highest point, lowest point. From there, what we do is we take, now obviously the time's moving by as this is happening, correct? So as you guys can see, the market really had a good up movement, and this is what really made my bias for the day, I'm not gonna lie here, is that sometimes as I notice that, if there's a lot of moves in the morning in a certain direction, the market wants to move in that direction most likely at a certain point during the day, right? So we saw it come all the way up to 748, okay? So that's telling me, number one, it was not gonna lie, the daily was bearish. But I actually ended up taking a bullish trade, and I'll tell you why. So obviously I saw this, that's the first thing I want to pinpoint. We saw a big drastic move at 8 o'clock in the morning, showing us again, I partly had thought it was just maybe grabbing some liquidity to move down even more, but the market had something different in mind. The market was different. It tells you what's happening. So as you guys can see, I did not trade right here. Remember how if you guys aren't new here, I always tell you that, once we have a closure above the higher high or a closure below the lower low, that's where we make our trade or make our decisions on the day, right? As you guys can see, we have a pure just kind of like liquidity grab right here, okay? So I didn't trade, right? Some people will go right in right here and they'll go up saying, oh, it's gonna go up higher. Didn't happen, right? So that's why I said patience is key. We didn't see a 5-minute closure. What we're looking for is a 5-minute closure, and we did not see one. We just saw a pure liquidity grab. All of a sudden, we start heading, there's a horizontal line, but we start heading all the way down. So I'm sitting here, I see a closure completely underneath this, right? That's where I want to make my trade, right? Originally. I knew today, because of this right here, And just from what I always see in the market, right? Something was up. And like, I'm being real. I'm just trying to tell you pretty much what's going through my head in the exact moments is why I'm making my choices, okay? So, as you guys can see, we saw a pure liquidity grab. At this point, I'm sitting here and waiting. I'm like, I don't really know what's about to happen, so I'm gonna make dang sure that, you know, I'm gonna make the right choice here. So I waited, I think it was an extra 5-10 minutes, and there's nothing wrong with waiting. I wanna be completely honest with you guys. I always tell you guys to wait for the second candlestick after the closure, right? So some would have went in right here, and they would have made a little bit, but then they would have lost completely. That's what would have happened, right? So that's why I tell you guys to wait. If you're not sure of something, just be patient, man. You know, like if you see it completely hauling down, again, I'm not really a trend chaser. You know, I am a trend chaser, but not like as far as, you know, chasing something out of fear of missing out, right? Because some people will just hop in and be like, oh, it's going down to 400s. There's nothing really showing us that. Obviously, our strategy, the 15-minute orb strategy that I use every day, right, would tell us that it's moving downward for the day. But it's not just the strategy that we need to listen to. That's what my main message is here. It's not just the strategy, man. It's also confluence. You know, waiting and seeing, okay, what's happening in this 15-minute time frame where the market's kind of going up and down, up and down? Are we going to be moving upwards, right? And obviously, as you guys saw, this really pinpointed it for me, right? So I sat here and I entered actually right, if I remember right, it was like right at this point right here, 540 something, somewhere around there. And I entered in for a buy, and I got out literally right there. I think it was at 630. 630-ish, 629. God, I got gas, Jesus. But I got out right there. And the reason being, I moved my take profit up. That's exactly why. Because I mean, sometimes I'll hold it. I wasn't extremely confident in the trade going way up. I knew it would at some point, but again, I like to take my profits while I can, and $900 on multiple accounts is a lot of money. So you don't need nothing crazy, dog. You know what I mean? So basically, I got out right there. It stopped me out at the 630 point, I think, somewhere around there. It went up all the way there, and then I put it right there, and it came down. So you guys can see. And at this point, as you guys can see, we are heading up, and we're definitely heading up into this region, I say, by the end of the day. Right now, I'm filming is 2 p.m., so my options trade, I think I entered in at 658, 60-ish, somewhere around there, and I got out at 661, 65 or something like that. Again, I'm just telling you what's in my head. I couldn't tell you. Something around that range. And the reason being is because I knew exactly what it was doing, and it was only $140 of a risk. So I just went in for an options contract, and I'm going to start doing that. Like I said, I mean, I genuinely, I hope you guys can learn something from my journey and, you know, go from there, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, the way I look at it, NASDAQ is moving, SPY's moving in that same direction that NASDAQ's moving, and once we identify the trend, we identify where the market wants to go, we identify liquidity, where the liquidity wants to be grabbed, that's where we make our decisions, right? And if we're having a really good day in green, we're gonna go green, you know what I mean? Like, it just depends on what the market's telling you, because this is a prime example that not all strategies work, right? And even my strategy doesn't work every time. It's not realistic, you know what I mean? That's why I try to be so honest and say, hey, we see a closure, but right here, there's not much. It was just battling back and forth, and even right here, battling back and forth. And what does that tell you? There's something happening right here, right? And once I get that green, basically, you could have entered right here, right? You could have put a buy order right here, and you could have just put your stop loss down here, and it wouldn't even have been that much of a risk. You know what I mean? It'd be like, what, $300, $200? I don't know. Something like that. I'm not good with the whole tick thing, but I just trade. But I'm telling you, man, like this strategy, along with confluence, you start to really just understand where the market's going. And again, like look at these things. Look at where's the daily candle going, right? So like lately, the reason why I was skeptic on if it was moving up or not was red candles the last 3 days. But pure liquidity grab, it's probably going to be moving to higher highs at some point next week. That's my guesstimation. I'm not exact on that. I'm thinking that's probably what it's going to do, is go up and grab really, really high points of liquidity. And, you know, by the end of the day, I guarantee you we're going to be up at like 6, 7, I don't know, 730, 740. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But at the end of the day, that's just, again, based off experience where I think it's going to be going. It's a hard game, but once you really understand the liquidity and understand, you know, why it's doing the things it's doing, I feel like the biggest thing that stopped me out a lot in the, you know, in the beginning of my trading journey was fear, man. Like fear of the missing out, fear of, you know, oh, I'm losing my money. You know, it's like you make the best trades you can. You know when to cut off your trades. You know, if they're not working out the way they're supposed to. you know, just initiate a trade correctly, you know, like, and like I said, give yourself that wiggle room where, like I told you, that entering at that point where you're like, okay, well, I really do think it could be a buy. Like, all right, that's when we're going to go in for a buy and make a really small stop loss, you know, so if it stomps you out, you just move on with your day, or, you know, if you think it's going to go down, you go down with it, right? But again, the market's risky regardless, man. You know, it's just after a year of experience, I can't imagine what people with 5 or 6 years of experience have. But I just have to give my grace to God, you know, my glory to God, I should say, because he gives the grace. My glory to God, because like I said, like, I feel like I never would have learned this in a year's time without him. I wouldn't have, you know, like every single day I pray to him, you know, every single day I prayed that I can retire my family, you know, and I can, do more for my future family, my future children. And I just wanted to add in the end of this video, if you are still here, man, just prayer, man. Prayer is the most powerful thing we have as human beings. You know, we're all just souls here, and none of this really matters at the end of the day, but God does, you know, and just pray about every one of your problems. Pray about your, you know, vision. Pray about your dreams. God hears you. He will answer your prayers, and he's done more for me than I could ever imagine my life being without. My life would be pointless without him, even if I was making all this money. You know what I mean? And I genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. My life would not be anything without him, even with hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I will have eventually, right? But I really hope this video helped you, man. I'm not out to get you. I'm not an advisor either, right? So I'm not someone you should be listening to in the first place, but I hope that it helps you. I really do. I just make sure to smash that like button. That's all I'm asking for. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my content. And, you know, glory to God. And thank you guys for watching.